31st of December 2025. Just walking alongside the magnificent Red River, biggest river in Furness, and there's a baby egret fishing for his tea. Lovely, a beautiful wading bird. Oops, try to focus on him. Yeah. Oh, where's he going now? Scrabbling around looking for juicy morsels. To give you an idea of the extent and size of this major tributary in the Furness Peninsula, just back off a bit, and it's doesn't look more than a flipping ditch, does it? But that river was enough to sustain the monks of Furness Abbey. Wouldn't have missed. Oh God, here we go. Never get a labradoodle. Get up. Get up. She not satisfied with eating absolutely everything. She rolls in everything as well. Come on. Come on. Fox poo, presumably. There we go. That's other people with a nice dog. Hiya. Cheers. Yeah, the Red River was unfortunately polluted by someone, and there was like a oily scum on the surface for about 3 weeks, and I'm not sure if the Environment Agency actually discovered who'd done it, but it must have been pouring the river for quite a long time, and people are up in arms about it, but I'm not sure anything was ever established as to who was to blame. I mean, monks wouldn't have wanted to drink that, would they? Oily, scummy water. So, yeah, not very tasty that. Reg Norman, who great bloke actually, a friend of mine, died a few years ago. He's 93, former desert rat, was telling me out in the desert in the baking heat of the North Africa campaign. He said each man was issued a cup, and he pointed to a beaker that we were both drinking tea out of at his house at the time. And he said each man was issued a cup of water a day, and that water you had to use it to shave out of as well as drink. Unbelievable. I mean, just think when you go on holiday and it's horrendously hot, 40 odd degrees, which it would have been in the North African desert, how much water that you get through during the day. And those guys were getting a single cup of water to drink a day, and they had to use that water to shave. Unbelievable. Reg ended up in Trieste at the end of World War II, and he was telling me he was looking forward to going home when his commander, he was a radio operator, was Reg, when his commander, with a glint of schadenfreude in his eye, I guess, he said, right, we're all going home. You, Norman, you've been redeployed, and you're going to the occupation army of the Rhine in Germany. So Reg then spent 2 more years in Germany, which he said he actually enjoyed. He was at a spa. I think he said it was Baden-Baden. Anyway, I said when he got home, he'd been away for 6 years. 6 years away from home. When he got home, he walked up the path to his house where his mum lived, and he heard frantic barking behind the door. When he opened the door, his Jack Russell was still alive and threw itself upon him, and after 6 years the dog remembered him. What a fabulous story. Brings a tear to your eye. So it's not a bad afternoon actually now. It was freezing this morning and the wind was very cold. I've come out prepared for a very cold afternoon, and it's actually not that bad. I could have done with just one coat on, but there you go. Better warm than cold. Bit of a New Year's Eve sniffle to see in the new year. 2025 has been well, I don't know. It's not been the best of years, let's face it. But Dad sadly departed the stage, shuffled off this mortal coil, this veil of tears. But he lived his life to the full, and retired for nearly 39 years, and he, as my brother said, he eked out pretty much every last drop of enjoyment he could out of his life, walking and holidays and watching his beloved Barrow football, who incidentally managed to win the other day, which was a relief. We've been on a rotten run recently, so let's hope they can buck up and turn that corner. One of my dad's favourite things was going to see Barrow soccer, and as he called them, and the Barrow had been out of the league for nearly 49 years, and it was quite nice that he got to see them back in the league, and he got to see them play as well in Division 2. So there were times when me and him went to watch them in the old Northern Premier League with the faithful 500 as they were known. Still got 500 supporters even when they were in the depths of despond. It was quite entertaining. Non-league football isn't bad actually. Some decent players playing at that level, and quite often you get a few people who've played at a very high level playing. Had Mike Marsh playing for Barrow for a while, and Mike had played for Liverpool, and unfortunately he'd had to retire from the highest level of the game for injury, but he was still capable of playing. To be honest, he was still capable of playing in the Premier League because he was just head, shoulders and his whole flipping body above everybody else. And I played local league football, and I was quite quick, you know, and scored a few goals, but I played a few games I played a few seasons in the Hallamshire Premier League in Sheffield, and came up against people who had actually played the game professionally. And I always remember one lad who'd played at Rotherham, and he packed it in his 20s to so he could go out on a Friday night drinking with his mates. I mean, beggars belief, doesn't it? But anyway, we were there playing against this team, and this lad scored 5 goals in the first half and just walked around everybody on the field, and I couldn't get near him. Nobody could get near him. And I was asking one of their lads, what's he doing playing with us? He's far too good. And he told me the story, and he just thought, what a waste. And I think Rotherham were in the third tier, shall we call it, in those days, in the early 90s, and I was probably playing at tier 12 or something like that, and he just illustrated to me how fantastically talented you have to be paid to play. And people, when you're watching professional footballers on TV, you take it for granted. Well, I don't, because I understand, but a lot of people take it for granted, the unbelievable control and the fact that the passes actually go to the bloke that they're aiming at, and most of the time on a sixpence. So yeah, they're very, very, very skillful footballers, and it's a very short career as well. You're only one injury away from having your livelihood taken away from you, and that's why you get paid so much money. Although people at level 3 probably, although they're pretty well paid, they're not on anything like people who are playing in the top 2 divisions. Right, there's going to be a bit of barking going on here. Come on then, you go run round. Here it comes. Okay, so this is the site of Abbots Wood, the magnificent mansion that was built for the railway magnate James Ramsden, and knocked down in the 60s, sadly, but the photographs of it indicate it was a colossal house. And might be a picture of it over here, although these are some of the remaining stones of that house, sandstone. There's a picture gone. Can't see it. Yeah, it's just a plaque referencing the site of the Cold War bunker that used to be in this vicinity. Although I'm certain it's not where they're saying it's here, and I think it was around this corner up in the woods. Maybe wrong. I remember coming up here and getting chased by some curmudgeonly bloke that was trying to get us away from the bunker. But yeah, it was a massive property this all green area, and further down here amongst these trees there was a massive conservatory as well. So beautiful place. It would have made a great hotel, but sadly it's gone, like many of Barrow's magnificent buildings. Right, I'll leave it there.